Hey everyone, this is Steven, and I am here today with my brand new Model 3, Tesla Model 3 Performance. I upgraded after like less than 45 days from the Model 3 long range all-wheel drive into the Tesla um, Model 3 Performance. The primary differences is more power, better brakes, better suspension, more ability to tune the suspension. It has track mode where you can engage and disengage the rear and front motors. So it has a lot of performance type features. The interior on this one is also white instead of black. So I'll walk you kind of through the car, at least let you see what it looks like. We are taking a road trip, Beth and I, from Lawrence, Kansas to Hayes, Kansas to see a brewery there, do a little hiking, and visit my friend Dave. So we'll get some good video along the way. Kansas is really beautiful. It's a gorgeous day out here today. All right, I want to take you around the outside of the car. So as you can see, it is the red color. I believe that is an upgrade, maybe $2,000. It's got the 20-inch Uber turbine wheels with the summer performance tires. I am seriously considering getting a second set of 18-inch wheels with some all-season tires. The smaller wheel will help with range, and I just want something through the fall and winter as far as a tire that gives me a little more versatility. But I'll just keep bringing you around the car here. I think it looks really beautiful. It looks really cool. My 2020 long range was white exterior with black interior. I did get aftermarket tint on this, which I do think helps, and then I really like this white interior. One of the other things I like is the dash piece is also white, whereas it was sort of a wood grain on the other one. So thanks for watching the video, and we'll keep posting along the way. All right, so Beth and I are in the car. Say hi, Beth.
Hello, everyone.
We just pulled over at a Casey's on the way out of town. We could not wait to get out of our house. My dad, who actually turned 74 today, on his birthday, agreed to stay with the kids, so Beth and I could go to Hayes.
Now turn right to take the State Highway 10 ramp.
All right, so we're in the Model 3 Performance, and probably the most notable difference is when I do that. This car is really fast. I think it'll do 0 to 60 somewhere between 3 and 3.2 seconds. And then, as I mentioned, it does have some suspension tuning options, better brakes, larger wheels, and then we've got the summer performance tires on here right now. I am already noticing a dramatic difference in efficiency between the Model 3 Performance and the Model 3 long range. So I'll be very interested on this stretch from Lawrence to Salina to see what kind of efficiency we got. I would usually get to 180 watt hours per mile in the long range on the interstate. So I'll let you know how it goes here. supercharging station in Salina, Kansas. It is attached to a Holiday Inn. There's not really anything like else in the parking lot, which is a little frustrating because it's snack time for us, but after we charge up here, we'll go see what's available down the road. There are 6 stalls here. Had I known what was going to happen right after we pulled in, I would have used one of the other ones, because as soon as we pulled in, a couple of people left, and I could have got one of the empty ones, but that's okay. I think we're actually sharing with the people next to us. So we're still getting close to 150 kilowatts, so really good speeds. Had no problem getting here from Lawrence. We left with 100% state of charge, and we pulled in here at about 40% state of charge, and went close to 135 miles. And I was not easy on the accelerator coming here. So we'll check in with you when we get to Hayes. So Beth and I just got back on the interstate after stopping in Salina for a charge. We charged from 40% to 70%, and it did not take that long. I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. So, you know, people worry a lot about range, and they worry a lot about how long it's going to take to charge. And the reality is, especially with the robustness of the Tesla supercharger network, I mean, you can get anywhere, and again, I maintain that really anything north of 250 miles of range is going to be more than almost anyone needs. So I don't really understand the quest for the more and more and more range. I think at some point you have to stop to pee, you have to stop to eat, you have to stop to stretch your legs, and it just adds unnecessary weight to the car. So I am really impressed with the difference between the Model 3 Performance that I'm driving now and the Model 3 Long Range that I had before. Don't get me wrong, that was an awesome car too, but with this car we also switched into the post-refresh generation. So a couple things that this car has, it's got on this center console cell phone charging, which the other one did not have. I know Beth has said that that's something she really likes. I mean, Beth, you've commented a couple times that the dash is, or the center console here, is a huge upgrade. So I mean, how would you describe the difference and why you like it so much more?
Well, it's just more practical. I mean, like, if you have things that you want to store, I mean, whether it be sunglasses or masks right now, or, you know, other things, like, it's a better organization system, and way that things open and close is nicer. It just is smoother and cleaner, and definitely the cell phone holder with the bonus of having the added charger is a major upgrade.
I would say for me the biggest difference is there's less wind noise in this car. The glass on the windows is a double pane, I think, sort of insulated glass that I don't think I had on the 2020 Model 3. You know, there's the obvious performance improvements. I mean, this car is just wildly fast. I mean, the long range was really fast, and I would say fast enough for almost anyone. But I definitely like putting my foot down on the accelerator. I don't know that I've noticed anything else. I mean, there's small things. For example, friends and family have a hard time knowing how to get out of this car, and they did put some signage on the door exit button to let you know that that is what that button does. I've seen people both on the inside and the outside of the Tesla just not really understand how to get in and out. And then of course, we have the white interior over the black interior. I really like the white interior. We'll see how it stands the test of time. I've seen some pretty nasty videos online of people cleaning the white, but I am pretty uptight when it comes to my cars. I don't really eat in them. I don't really drink in them. I don't have anything ever that smells funny in my cars. So hopefully for me, it will not be that big of an issue. Although we do have 3 kids, and I've learned that you know, they can sneak something in, and it could definitely cause a problem. So we'll see how that goes. Beth and I hiked probably 0.75 or 0.8 miles in to this beautiful lake. This is Wilson Lake, outside of Hays, Kansas, which is where we're going later. I think Beth and I would both highly recommend stopping here to stretch your legs. It was probably 10 miles off of I-70. Maybe a little more. The drive was really scenic with the Model 3 Performance. We did some very spirited driving, a lot of twists and turns, performed very well, but it was just absolutely beautiful. So we both highly recommend stopping here and checking this out. Okay, this is Beth's first time driving the Tesla Model 3 Performance, so gonna have her give it the beans. Oh, Jesus. Woo! All right, we're at the Hays, Kansas Supercharger. It was really full when I got here. I actually left for 20 minutes and then came back. We're only getting about 75 kilowatts, and that is not very fast, but like I said, it was full when I got here. This charger's rated to 150, so hopefully it picks up speed over time, and as some of the other cars clear out of here. So this is a great location. We've got an Applebee's here. We've got an Old Chicago. Our hotel is just across the parking lot. From the time we left Salina, went to Wilson Lake State Park, hiked around, and then got here. We left Salina at 70% state of charge, and we were at 13% charge when we got to this charging station. So plenty of juice, no issues. No range worries. When we were at the state park, a couple guys asked us how we were charging our car or how we got out to the park, and I was trying to explain to him how much range we had and the different types of places we could charge. So there's still a lot of misconceptions about EVs out there, but hopefully the more people who make videos and the more people that watch videos, the more we can help normalize EV travel, which is just so much better for the environment, and it's a lot cheaper over time as well. So we're gonna go grab a few beers and we'll check in with you later. Good morning, this is Steven. I'm here from beautiful Hays, Kansas. It is an absolutely gorgeous morning out. Beth is still getting up for the day. We looked for some breakfast here and didn't exactly find what we were looking for, so we have decided to take an impromptu trip to Manhattan, Kansas, which is about 2 hours from Hays, off of Interstate 70. It's a little out of the way, headed back to Lawrence, but not too bad. We are going to a place called the Chef. I think that I am going to get some corned beef hash, and I think Beth was eyeing some sort of eggs Benedict. But we had a great time in Hays, Kansas. We ate at Gella's brewery, had really good food there, and then went to Waukene, Kansas to visit my friend Dave Anderson, who's a work colleague of mine. So really good trip. Would totally do this again. Wilson State Park was absolutely gorgeous. So I think we're going to bring the kids and the dogs back out this way to give it another try. The Model 3 Performance did absolutely great on the road. Noticeable improvements in road noise, wind noise, I think due to the improved windows that it has. But just absolutely love this car. So Beth is still on a quest for a car, so we're probably going to talk about that a little bit on our way back to Lawrence. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're in Hays. We're going to head back to Lawrence, Kansas. So we're going to put that in, but we are also going to add a stop. We want to go to the Chef, which is in Manhattan, Kansas. So hopefully it'll pop up there. So as you can see, it's routing us from Hays to Manhattan and then to Lawrence, and it will automatically put in where it wants you to supercharge, and it will tell you how much it wants you to supercharge at each place. So we are going to go from Hays to Salina, arriving with 40% charge. We will charge for 15 minutes. Head to the Chef, arriving with 34% charge, and then we'll go to Topeka, arriving with 12% charge, no big deal, charge for 15 minutes, and then arrive back in Lawrence with 26% charge. This was a completely impromptu decision to go to Manhattan, so even in an electric vehicle, you can have the same spontaneity that you would have in an internal combustion car. I'm actually already hot. Hey everybody, we are still on our way to Salina. One of the things we've been trying to figure out is what car is Beth going to get next. So we've put in orders on several different cars, which Beth will talk about. Now there's some other ones I think she wants, so she's going to kind of talk you through what she's looking for and what she's thinking about.
Well, the good news is there are lots and lots of great new EVs out there that are being produced, so there's certainly lots to choose from. However, that also means that you have a choice to make, and there's a lot of advantages and disadvantages to consider when you're looking at some of them. I'm looking specifically for something that would be more of the SUV category, and there's quite a few options out there right now. I currently have 2 cars reserved. So I have a reservation on the Volkswagen ID4, and then I also have a reservation on the Fisker Ocean, which has not started production yet. They are supposed to start production in November of this year. So I recently got a letter or an email that the ID4 production has been stopped because of the war in Ukraine. One of the important elements of the vehicle is produced in Ukraine, so it has impacted production, and so it's likely going to be 2023 before I would be able to take delivery on that vehicle, and even then it's unsure when it would happen because they're, I think, pretty backed up on orders.
Well, they also had that thing with the ship that started on fire, which was just crazy.
Yeah, so there were some orders they had to replace that were on the ship. The ID4 is the, I don't want to say cheapest, but the lowest cost SUV that's in my consideration at this point. The all-wheel drive version comes in, just under 50,000. If you want the gradient package, then it's just over 50,000. The Fisker Ocean, depending on the trim level, but the launch version, which is the Ocean 1, it would be the most expensive option that is on my list right now. That particular trim, I think, is estimated to be listed at 68 or 69,000, so basically 70,000. And so then, I've now also test driven the Tesla Y. Everyone knows Tesla. It's a very established company, so it has some clear advantages in terms of that, but they've had some recent price hikes that now make it an even more expensive option to be able to get into. If you were to get the Tesla Y base level, the included paint, included wheels, 5 seats, so not 7 seats, you're looking at 63,000. And to get the things that I was wanting, that means adding an additional about 4,000 to it. So you're looking at $67,000 now, and waiting until the end of 2022, beginning of 2023 for delivery, as they've had to extend out delivery times on the Teslas as well. So then the other primary one that I am now considering as well is the Cadillac Lyriq. It's going to start production here, I think, in just like a week, on some customer units, and then dealer ordering is targeted to start May 19th, I believe. Its launch edition is in one color, silver, and one interior color, like a light gray. It's pretty attractive, and it is going to be $59,000. All of the vehicles are pretty attractive. perspective, they have pretty similar ranges. I mean, they all have good ranges. The ID4 probably has the least luxury feel and look, being that it is, you can get it for under $50K. It also, I believe, is the slowest in terms of acceleration from 0 to 60. So a couple differences there. But I'm having a hard time deciding. There's a lot at play. There's timing of delivery to consider. There's, the actual cost of the vehicle. And then there's just the little design elements that are different. The Tesla has the pretty standard, one screen monitor that everyone has gotten used to as being the Tesla thing. The Fisker Ocean is the same. It has one monitor as well. It's this standard orientation of it is actually vertical instead of horizontal. But in the launch edition, the Ocean 1, it actually can switch from vertical mode to horizontal mode if you wanted to watch a movie, for example. I believe it's called Hollywood mode. Something else cool about the Ocean, and this particular car I think is less well known in terms of mainstream EV, is that it has what's called California mode, and so it has a retractable glass roof and multiple windows, including a window on the back liftgate. And when you're in California mode, the retractable roof goes back and all of the windows come down, so it's kind of the feel of a convertible. In driving it, it also has in the top trim levels in the launch edition a solar roof, so it will actually provide some solar charging for your battery right there on the vehicle. So that's a cool element that the others do not have. The Lyric has a very different dash feel, so it's one very long horizontal dash. I believe it's, if I'm recalling correctly, 33 inches diagonal, so it expands pretty far along the dash. It also says it has some neat drawers and other cubbies to put stuff in, so I definitely like to have my things organized. And something that's even frustrated to me is if I have a person in the front seat, sometimes it can be a struggle to find a place to put my purse. And it sounds like there's a handbag cubby with the Lyric that I haven't been able to see or try, but it sounds like it might be kind of useful. So I'm definitely still in decision mode. It wouldn't surprise me if I were to, put a reservation in on the Lyric, so I can get in line possibly and kind of feel things out as I'm able to actually get in the vehicles and see the timing. It's a good time for buying an EV because you have lots of choices, but you do have to be prepared to wait a little bit, as while it's not impossible, it's extremely difficult to luck into just walking onto a dealer lot and them having an EV that you can purchase and walk away from. So there is some planning that goes into it, and maybe that's what makes my indecisiveness worse. I have lots of time to ponder all of these different things versus just walking on and buying something and having my decision made for me. But yeah, so I guess that's probably where I'm at right now in terms of my thinking, which is pretty much nowhere, having not settled on anything, but lots to think about still.
Yeah, I mean, they're all good cars. I think it's not just waiting a little bit, it's waiting a lot. I mean, anything that you would order now would be 6, 9, 12 months or more out in terms of being able to get something. Highly unlikely that you would walk into something on the lot. You can shop around. If you're interested in the Kia EV6 or Hyundai Ioniq 5, both like very highly reviewed cars. I've seen those on lots, although many of them have a dealer markup, which I've talked about that before, and I'm really strongly against that. In fact, the Lawrence Kia dealer, they're all marked above MSRP, and I think if you look around, you might be able to find something at MSRP. That was the case when we found our Nissan Leaf. You know, one of the other things that we've gone back and forth on is like all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive. You know, my opinion, I certainly agree that there are places in the United States where all-wheel drive is beneficial. However, the vast majority of people, I think almost regardless of where you live, would be just fine with the rear-wheel drive car. Keep in mind the weight distribution on an electric vehicle is completely different. You've got the battery really evening out the weight distribution on the bottom of the car, and a rear-wheel drive electric vehicle with good tires is going to do just fine in the snow. So there's a lot of kind of antiquated sort of misconceptions about that. Now, all-wheel drive is typically going to have considerably more power. I'm not saying it's not better. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but I do question for most people whether it's necessary. Also, most people are going to find that any EV is what I would call quick enough for them. Even our Nissan Leaf gets a reaction out of people who aren't sort of used to that instant torquey feel. So we'll see if what Beth ends up ordering. And again, I think we're going to try this strategy of reserving, you know, 3 or 4 different models and seeing which one locks and goes to production first. All right, we're here at the Tesla Supercharger outside of, or inside of Salina. Just to show you all how easy it is, I just pop open the charge port, I grab the charging plug, and I just plug it in. It'll switch from blue to green when it's charging. It's plug and play. It automatically bills my Tesla account, so easy peasy.
So as you're thinking about price of the vehicles, it's also really important to mention and consider the federal tax rebates and which cars are or do not qualify for them as well. So currently, Tesla and GM have produced enough EVs that you are not eligible for the federal tax rebate, which currently is up to $7,500. So if you purchase the ID4 or the Fisker Ocean or the Kias or the Hyundai Ioniq or the Nissan's new one or any of the other ones, then you can get, you know, a rebate on your federal taxes when you file, which in a way makes the cost of the vehicle less. So that's, you know, a relevant consideration when you're thinking about price as well, in terms of which company to go with. Is there anything to add on that, you think, Stephen?
Just that the tax credit's non-refundable, meaning that you can't get credit for more than you pay in taxes. So you would definitely want to really understand your own tax situation to see if that credit would even be of benefit to you.
Good point. So I know that there's currently, you know, Biden's bill that, you know, hasn't gone anywhere or hasn't passed at this point that could change some aspects of EV tax credits. Do you have a better understanding of what some of those differences might be?
So it increases the total tax credit up to $12,000, depending on certain factors like where it's made. Like if it's made in America, it does eliminate the tax credit for plug-in hybrids, so those wouldn't be eligible anymore. And then the biggest change is that two biggest changes are that the tax credit is refundable, meaning that you can get back more than you pay in, which would be a benefit to middle income earners. Right now, the argument is the federal tax credit primarily benefits higher income earners because middle income earners don't often have sufficient tax liability to benefit from the way that it's structured now, and then it would lift the limit by manufacturer, which means that Tesla and GM would be back at the table and eligible for those credits.
So contact your congressperson or senator if you are interested in moving that bill forward. Of course, there's lots of other things in that bill to consider, but politics aside, clearly there's lots to consider when you're evaluating which EV to go with. So good luck in your considerations.